What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to your second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and news report for Tuesday, February 2nd. Today we have some big news that I want to bring to you, and yes, this has more to do with Democrats than it does with Republicans. A lot of people are wondering, why do I always bring up Republicans and what the Republican Party is doing when Democrats currently hold all the power? The reason I do is because President Biden wants to work with Republicans. So, what Republicans want and their demands actually does matter. Not as much as many people think, but it does matter. First, last night, President Trump met with a group of 10 Senate Republicans, 8 of which come from the Problem Solvers Caucus. What we heard, the new reports are that they argued a lot during this meeting because they argued over whose plan would be better for the American people. But in the end, they did not come out of this meeting with any sort of agreement, and they didn't get any closer than they went in with. So right now, this meeting was pretty much just a waste of time. Many people knew it, but they still wanted to do it anyway. Now, yesterday, a lot of you guys asked, why would President Biden even meet with this group of 10 Senate Republicans when Democrats could just push through a budget reconciliation? Well, I've been saying this for probably about a week, but we are now getting new reports that exactly why President Biden accepted this meeting. He accepted this meeting because, according to multiple reports, President Biden does not have the support that he needs. He does not have the 51 votes in the Senate just yet. There are a handful of senators that are Democratic senators. Democrats, okay? Not Republicans, Democrats that are not sure if they want to vote in support of his $1.9 trillion stimulus package. And there's a handful of reasons. The targeting of the stimulus checks is a big one. How much money is going to go to unemployment benefits, vaccines, schools, how targeted the rest of the package is, who is going to get rental assistance, who's going to get some business aid. All those things play a factor. And then the $1.9 trillion price tag is also a factor. Some Democrats say this could be too much, so they side with Republicans. Now, the most notable person here that is currently on record multiple times saying that they do not support President Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package is Senator Joe Manchin. He's out of West Virginia. Well, Joe Manchin has been calling for more targeted stimulus, more targeted relief for weeks. This includes more targeted stimulus checks. Now, just to put this into perspective for you, yesterday we got word and we got the details of this group of 10 Senate Republicans, their idea of a new stimulus package, their idea of how we should target these stimulus checks. Well, under the Biden administration and their $1.9 trillion stimulus package, or their proposal, this would provide a $1,400 stimulus check to all filers, their spouses, children, and adult dependents. Here's the issue. This cutoff would go at $75,000 for individuals. That's when it would phase out until, depending on how many children you have and all this stuff, it would phase out. As for the phase outs, I believe it's still going to be $5 for every $100 you make over the $75,000. That's an individual. For a couple under the Biden administration, they are saying it's $150,000 and then it would phase out from there. The same phase outs, $5 for every $100 you make over $150,000. Well, under the GOP, under this new proposal, they are saying no, we are going to start the phase out at $40,000 and we're going to cap it at $50,000. So for an individual who makes $40,000, okay, you will get a stimulus check of $1,000. But we are going to phase it out. And again, the phase out in this, we don't know all the details, but it would end at $50,000. So if you make $50,000 and $1, you do not get a stimulus check, no matter how many kids you have. And for families, so a filer and their spouse, you get, okay, again, these are just reports, I believe it's $80,000. It's $80,000 is when the phase out starts, and then $100,000 is when it ends. That is the cutoff. So that's a big difference. So that's what Joe Manchin is saying, is he wants more targeted relief. The problem is that is too targeted for many Democrats. According to many economists just this morning, they are saying that that is too targeted. That leaves out millions of people. According to CNN and a few reports, they are saying that leaves out roughly 28 to 30 million Americans that would not receive a stimulus check at all. That doesn't include the amount of people that would receive a limited amount of stimulus, a smaller portion, because their income is somewhere in the middle of that phase out. Again, more issues. Joe Manchin also wants to provide more relief to businesses that were hurt the most. But again, target the stimulus to those businesses that were negatively impacted. Let's not just give money away to every single business that says they had issues. We were struggling. That's not what he wants. And he also wants to provide for people who cannot afford the basic necessities. That's what we're hearing. Now, this was just the start of what Joe Manchin was wanting. But then in a move to try to get the people of West Virginia to try to urge Joe Manchin to jump on board, join the Biden administration. Let's get that $1.9 trillion stimulus package through. In order to do this, the Biden administration decided to send Vice President Kamala Harris out to West Virginia to do an interview. However, she did so without Joe Manchin ever knowing anything about it. So, he said that this move, according to Joe Manchin, was not the right way to show we are working together. The Biden administration pretty much pulled a stunt to try to get Joe Manchin on board. However, it's looking like it could ultimately backfire. So, here's where we're at. Even though many believe that the Senate will have the 51 votes to pass the budget reconciliation, a lot of people are saying that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will not bring the budget reconciliation to the floor until he's assured that every Democrat will vote for it. Well, right now, they reportedly don't have the votes. This is the reason why President Biden called in this group of 10 Senate Republicans to try to get the details of their bill, to try to explain why his bill is better and they should vote for his. Because again, we just need 10. We need 10 people on board, 10 Republicans on board with all 50 Democrats in order to get this passed through. As of right now, it does not look like we have those 10 votes. And on top of that, Republicans say that passing a budget reconciliation bill will be much faster. We can get these stimulus checks out to the American people much quicker if we work together. If you do a budget reconciliation, this will get very messy. That's what they're saying. Remember, again, and this is still something that I'm learning a lot about. Okay, we don't get a lot of budget reconciliations done. So it's still something that's new to me. Trying to find all the correct information is somewhat difficult online as well. But here's what you need to know. The budget resolution is legislation that instructs the House and Senate committees to begin work. Okay, begin work, key word. So right now, the budget resolution has not actually been voted on. This hasn't been passed. This is what is supposed to pass this week. But yet we got a lot of reports saying last week that we are going to get the budget reconciliation vote this week. No. According to the new reports, the budget resolution is going to be voted on this week, potentially today. If this happens, that means the Senate and House committees can get to work putting this budget together. And this is where it gets messy because all these different committees have to do all their individual work, then combine them all together, and hopefully it fits. Hopefully it fits. This is where it gets messy. So, once this budget resolution is passed, it will still have to go to the committees, and they will begin putting the bills together. This is, like I said, this is where it's going to get messy. But some people say that if the committees have been working towards this, like Nancy Pelosi told us earlier last week, then the bills could come out very quickly, and we could see stimulus by the end of this month. That's easy, if they have been working towards this. But some are saying that no, they haven't. But the majority of experts right now say that this whole plan is still going to take months. It's still going to take months, at least 1 month. We will probably not see a stimulus check in February. It will most likely come in March. That also means we will most likely not see an additional unemployment extension and enhancement of unemployment benefits. We won't see that until probably March 14th, when the current unemployment benefits expire. So we'll see. What I can tell you is that no stimulus package is going to get passed if it's not at least $1.5 trillion. It won't get passed. Some are saying that President Biden is open to negotiations. He's open to the overall cost, but he does not want to pull out pieces of legislation. For instance, a $15 federal minimum wage. He doesn't want to pull that out. For example, let's say some money for small businesses, for small business loans. He does not want to pull out that money. $350 billion for state and local government funding. He does not want to just pull that legislation out. He will adjust the figures. He'll adjust the amounts to make it more of a bipartisan agreement, a bipartisan stimulus package, but he's not going to cherry pick individual pieces and then leave the rest behind. He wants everything that he is included in that $1.9 trillion stimulus outline. He wants that in this bill. However, reports indicate that he's open to adjusting the figures. But $1.5 trillion is currently what is said is as the limit. That's as far down as he will go. That's the minimum. But we will see. So, we're also getting more and more reports saying that Democrats want to include other pieces of legislation as well into this proposal. Even though President Biden has been very clear, this is what is needed. These are the provisions that we need to pass, and we need to pass these quickly. Some are saying that they don't care. That if President Biden wants their vote, that they will need to get their bills included, their proposals included into this. So again, we will see. Right now, there are a lot of things happening behind the scenes that we don't get very specific reports on, but a lot of it is not sounding very great. Some things are actually going to hinder the stimulus talks and could delay these much further. And this is not just between Republicans and Democrats. This is mainly the Democrats that are fighting now. They're fighting with each other because they have their own agenda. They have their own proposals. They want to get included. And if you want their vote, and so specifically within the Senate, if you want that Democrats' vote, and this is why some are saying that Joe Manchin is pushing, because there's probably something that he wants. We don't know. We don't have the specifics on it yet. But as soon as we do, I promise I'll bring that to you. But this is turning into a bigger issue because Democrats are fighting within their own caucus. That will be a problem. So here's what we need to watch for this week, because these are all pretty big key things, pivotal points that we need to address. First, we need to see if the House and Senate vote on the budget resolution. Some say this could happen today. Chuck Schumer, he stated, we could see a vote on that today. If that's the case, great, let's move forward. We need to. There's no time to waste. We also need to see how the Senate Republican group reacts to the way the meeting went last night. Do they come back with a higher offer, a higher proposal? Do they come back and adjust the stimulus check? Do they come back with a smaller proposal, but very targeted, just vaccine distribution and stimulus checks? It's possible. We could see a lot of this stuff happening. Again, a lot of people are saying right now the two main things that need to be included are vaccine distribution funding, because the United States already just purchased, I think, another 100 billion or 200 billion or 100 million doses of this vaccine. So we need to get those distributed so the American people can get them, get vaccinated, and finally, hopefully, get on to normal life. They're also saying that the stimulus check is very much needed. Some are saying that President Biden promised a $1,400 stimulus check, so there is no way he can back out and go down to $1,000. Some are saying that he would be willing to go to $1,200. Honestly, in my personal opinion, if he promised $1,400 stimulus checks, it does not matter if he provided, actually he promised $2,000, excuse me, he didn't promise $1,400. He promised $2,000 stimulus checks. So by providing $1,400 stimulus checks, essentially that equals $2,000 with the additional $600 that many people already received. However, some are saying that if he only passes a $1,000 stimulus check, that people are going to bash him. People are going to remember this when it comes time for that midterm election. And Democrats, will be hurt then. We also, right now, we need to see what is going to happen, where President Biden stands. Hopefully we get some type of outline of exactly what he wants, because right now nobody knows. Absolutely nobody knows. The last thing that we should be watching for is the unemployment numbers that come out this Friday. This is going to be big. If we see the unemployment rate increase, then here's what I expect. I expect a hard line from the Biden administration. I expect they are going to push Republicans to just get on board, because we are going to push through with this budget reconciliation as quickly as possible. That's what I expect. So that's what we are hearing right now as of Tuesday morning. As I know more, I promise I'll come back and share more. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.